Hey guys, I thought I'd put together another drawing video after a very long time. I wanted to do some digital drawing practice, and let's see here. And I thought, let's make another layer on top of that for our sketch lines. And I thought I would draw something that someone on Patreon mentioned they might like to see, and that is take the Marianne character and have her be a little more advanced in her age and she's a mother now, and I figured I'd advance her to like her 30s or so and do a quick sketch of that. If I sound a little bit out of breath, it's because I finished up a round of exercises. When you have a job where you're sitting all day, it's good to make yourself get up and do exercises, or else you will turn sloppy after a while and it won't be pretty. So one of the advantages of digital drawing that I really like is the ability to shrink and expand the canvas at will, as well as shrink and expand your viewpoint, because I can easily just check proportion that way. What I find myself doing is if I'm working in paper, I usually end up going to my phone and invoking the phone camera in order to get a small, tiny picture of what it is I'm drawing on paper, because I can't, like, my eye isn't unbiased. I can't backstep enough. This won't be anything super special as far as like dynamism or whatever goes, but my intention is to just sort of get some basic ideas down. You're going to see me doing a lot of just sort of really just kind of playing around. But I did have a pose idea with an outdoor shower. I like outdoor showers. I don't know why. I'm really fascinated by them. If I ever get a home, I would really love to have one. And what I want to do is, what I'll probably do is I'll probably put her in a bathing suit here for YouTube when I get that far, and then for Patreon I'll have the much more characteristic Marianne, where she's not really wearing any clothes at all. And I really want to keep her with the tan lines. I like the tan lines. I don't know why. I wish maybe I can come up with some explanation as to some weird psychological analysis. Why do I like tan lines? I don't know. It could be because it sort of invokes kind of a more of a regular kind of person, as opposed to someone who's like a porn star or something like that. I mean, I know people actually sit out in tanning beds and stuff to get rid of them, but they go in there fully nude. But it's never really appealed to me too much, or I should say it's neither here nor there to me if a woman has them. Actually, I should say if a woman doesn't have tan lines, it's fine. But if she does, it just looks, I don't know, it looks like she's more authentic to me, I guess, because those are the kinds of people that you just kind of grew up with. I think I'm going to slant that a little bit like that. So she's had a few kids. I want to give her a more filled out figure as a result. But she's still going to be in good shape. But this is all like super fast stuff, and this will probably be split into a few videos just because of the process it takes. I'm not used to having people watch me. It may take me longer. Sometimes I really get into these lines and how I'm going to depict them, and so it takes me, really sometimes longer than you might suspect. Actually, she looks a little strong there. She shouldn't be that. Like the only weightlifting she does is like lifting her large children. So let's see. But I'm wondering how much of a down camera angle I should give her. Maybe a little bit. I want to sort of make sure this works out here first. Make sure it doesn't look silly. tended to draw her as like a late teen or a 20-year-old usually as her character, but let's see. I think I'm going to do like a sort of an exaggerated thing here where this leg crosses over. So she's going to kind of have more of a body like her mother, Lenore. If you're familiar with my comics, you know who that is. Anyway, you can see here, like people ask me, well, do you have any tutorials? Do you have any whatever? You know, how do you draw stuff? And that's like one of the biggest things I get. You know, I've had no training, but I have learned over time how to like break things down into shapes and make them planular and be able to you know, once you break the body down into its shapes, you can kind of draw it from any angle you want. And let's see. So I'll have like the shower head will be kind of up here, like that. And then I'll have probably some kind of little barrier with some background stuff way in here, trees and whatever. We'll see. I might not even have a barrier. I don't know. I might just have it wide open, but I like to have some kind of little wall. Actually, with that angle, the background would be more like that, I think. Anyway. So I still struggle with balance, but it's a little easier working with this super rough kind of thing first. And those thighs look really strong. It's hard, you know. I kind of have a struggle getting sort of a natural level of padding on a person instead of I usually end up making it look like she's like a bodybuilder or something, you know, like she's got like runner's legs and muscles and whatnot. I mean, she is a farm girl, but don't want to take it too far. So she has a little twist to her body here, it looks like. I'm wondering if I should just put this leg over it. I thought I could get a little dynamic with the twist, but that might be asking too much of this pose here. Maybe. Another option would be to move that leg out. And this is another huge advantage to doing digital, which I really like, is just the ability to just do and redo and erase and mess around with stuff and see if you like this. If you don't, you just change it. And even if you work with these guidelines, this is all subject to change. I do kind of like that a little bit better, although I need to round out her belly a little bit more. There we go. That's kind of where her belly button's going to be. So she looks a little aged. She's got a more mature body from having children. But at the same time, she's still in good shape because she works around the farm. And it's always kind of important to take your character's lifestyle into consideration when you build their physique. Especially if you're doing comics and stories, you know, if you're like, well, I got to have a conversation between these two characters to kind of develop them, you know, and I'm tired of just drawing them sitting around, you know, having coffee or whatever. Draw them, you know, on a treadmill or jogging or whatever, you know. That's pretty cool too. So I'm just going to kind of sort of flesh this out a little bit and make these lines a little bit darker. One thing I do worry about is the head being too big. I don't know if that's going to be a problem. But I hope this works out okay, because do some. Okay, I guess that's good enough. She has had a few kids, so she should be a little more filled out up here. Not much. She was never big to begin with, but. Arm goes in there. What I'll do is I'll kind of go in with the darker stuff here and sort of build. Yeah, I had some spare time in my Friday afternoon, and I thought I would make another video primarily for the purpose of sharing it on YouTube, but because I want to populate my YouTube channel and just sort of get videos out there, but also get this picture done and maybe not play video games this time around. I've been playing a lot of games. I've been really enjoying games, and I even have. Y'all may have noticed I have video game streams here, which is pretty cool. Certain games sort of lend themselves to decent streaming. I will say most of the games I play, though, I mean, I don't know if video games have become like a regular feature of my YouTube channel. Most of the games I play probably aren't real conducive. I'm just going to give her largely straight hair. The pigtails are gone, and she's an adult now. She's a grown-up. She's a mom. Here we go. So, because most, I have Dark Souls videos up because Dark Souls lends itself to video making, because the game is just you move on from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. A lot of the games I play are a lot of planning and a lot of, like if I'm playing Fallout, which I enjoy, it's a lot of, okay, planning what I'm going to do, how am I going to take on this situation, a lot of exploring, which is great if you're doing it. I don't know how fun it is to watch, that kind of a thing. So let's see if we can do a little overlap here. That would actually look good. Trying to keep her face kind of round. Whoops. I need to make a save file for this, I guess. Let's go here. Just go to PSDs. Just go to Marianne Shower. Okay. I think I will sort of tighten up this jaw a little bit. One of the things I tend to do is make the heads too big, and I've talked about this before. I sort of get in with a cartoon style where that's just kind of naturally how things happen. And that may even change up. I'm not sure if I'm wed to that shape or not. She has more of a round nose instead of a button nose, and I always draw the eyebrows first, and I usually end up with unbalanced eyes when I do that, so I'm not really sure if I like that. So this time, let me try drawing the eyes first. You know what? I don't want her looking at the viewer. There's too much of that in art. Marianne has a good life, so make her smiley. Give her some more lip definition. And of course, I'm wondering if I like that. I don't know. Yeah, head is large. Or at least the face. Curve that in like this. I'm used to putting big hair on everything. That's not part of the problem. She almost looks drugged. Let me let me work on this. Sometimes I'll spend a long time just working on a face if it's bugging me a little bit here. Bring those in like this. Oh, now she's almost conniving. It's kind of weird taking a character like her who just sort of naturally looks like she's 20 all the time and still affecting a stereotype, and to try to completely change her up. And part of it's like, wow, this is maybe how she looked. This may be how she looked at 32. I can't tell, but give her a little more definition here. It's almost like, you know, those actors that age when they were like, they looked a certain way when they were young, and then they age, and you go, is that the same person? That's a little strange. Might even completely weaken this jaw here, this jawline here, and just have it sort of be implied that have the downward angle. Just sort of, well, no, that's not going to work. Not like that anyway. Sort of because it is kind of an up angle, you might not have such a defined line, but I think I will. Straighten this. I guess she looks a little more balanced now, I think, maybe, so. I think her eyes not quite as large as I normally draw them. Sort of a greater sign of maturity, sort of eroding a lot of the natural neoteny that I had with her when she was like she was in her comic as a young adult. I can't remember if she's got dimples or not. I think I always do give her those. Oh well. I usually speckle her face with freckles. It's not really important here. I think if I do the coloring, I'll do that. I'll go ahead and save that. Still not sure what I think of that face. I think her eyes are off balance. Balance is still an issue. I should probably do a mirror flip and see how I can work with that. Get out of here. I think I have a more pronounced arch over here, over there. May go back to my original leg pose with her. She's always had hair in her face. Okay. Round that a little bit. Now I said I was going to change the leg pose a little. Actually, I'll go ahead and draw that in case YouTube has a conniption. We'll put some Doritos on our boobs. Okay. Obviously, those are just placeholders. Let's see. I don't do a lot of hotkeys or whatever they call them for stuff because I never really practiced heavily in school or anything like that with this kind of thing. and I never really learned them, so. And this is also a little bit quicker and more haphazard than I normally will render something. I think because I'm kind of self-conscious about being watched, or at least being taking video while I'm doing this. So I know for some artists this is like de rigueur. I mean, they're like stream masters. That's all they do is stream. Every commission is streamed. They take commissions on the spot, and they're really good at it, you know. But not me. I don't even like being in person. You know, someone watching me while I'm drawing stuff, and I also have this habit of, even though these are sketch lines and I'll probably ink on top of them, I still kind of, I don't know, I have this habit of going in and erasing them and cleaning them up just a little bit, which, which, you know, when I do my normal drawings, I normally am just drawing straight onto the paper, and the sketch lines, I just clean them up with an eraser, and eventually they become the actual lines that I work with. So let's draw that again. Give her a little bit more coverage. There we go. Let's bring that lower. It's always good to practice more humans too. I just, you know, I sort of cut my teeth in the furry fandom, and there I am stuck, so to speak. Not that it's a bad fandom. It's actually, if you're a creator, you know, it's actually a really good fandom, because people are interested in your shit and not, you know, industry characters necessarily. Although I think Zootopia is kind of changing that now, you know, which I don't really like. I don't like messing with other people's characters and other people's creations. Rule 34 just feels like, you know, you're using someone else's stuff to sort of get ahead yourself. You're like climbing on the shoulders of giants, if you will, climbing on top of someone else's creation. I have a little bit less respect for that, I think. Let's balance that out. It's a little bit lower. This might be me being picky about my lines, but, you know. Okay. Actually, go in here. Try to make sure that's balanced properly. Like I said in prior videos, like gameplay videos, I know my gameplay videos probably aren't going to be my most popular, because most people know me on the internet for drawing things. But like I said, I don't have Google Plus, So if you leave comments, every time I like try to reply to a comment or whatever, it says you don't have Google Plus, so go to hell or whatever. So I just say, well, to hell with it. So if you do leave me comments, I'm not going to be able to reply to them on YouTube itself. If you leave me comments and I do read them, I might address them in future videos. Actually, I think I need to bring these strings up a little more. I do like the low-cut look, and I'm actually glad it's back. Even though I kind of grew up in the 80s, I never liked sort of the really like high hip look to like most bathing suits and stuff. I just never did. I don't know. It just seemed, I don't know if I like the low cut look better because it kind of shows off the natural hip shape a little more instead of trying to force it. It kind of shows it off more, or because it looks like they're halfway rolling down or something like that. I'm not exactly sure why, but I do just like it better. So I'll do that there. And then when we go in with the inking, we'll do like little details, like little seams and all those fun things that are good to do. We'll do a little seam line there, do little seam lines here and here and up there. There we go. Let's balance these two edges here a little bit more. This side hip does kind of look really strong. Let's do a let's go in here, and it's another thing you can't easily do with a piece of paper. I mean, there's a lot of times, you want to check your balance, so you're holding the paper up to the light, but you can't flip it and work with it in mirror image. And that's just going to be more hair right there. So. I think I should probably, she's had kids. Let's soften just a little, not too much. It's not a foregone conclusion that your body's going to be wrecked by having children if you sort of, exercise and stuff. But I need to make sure this is balanced. Something that happens sometimes is you will draw these like jeans bottoms or bikini bottoms or underwear bottoms, and then you're wondering why does the far side look longer than the near side? That really shouldn't be the way it is. And you realize, well, then something's a little off. And I think it has to do with the fact that the belly looked a little off balance here. So let's go in here and make this a little bit. There we go. Little seam, little seam, little seam. And probably we'll need to make this a little bit bigger in order to... And I may do like a decorative side tie thing, because those are always cute. It's funny, these things are like so cute now that I'm seeing bikinis. My girlfriend has a bikini that it actually doesn't tie on the sides, but it has these little loopy things, like it as if it would tie on the sides. I guess because, while as cute as it looks, it's not a very secure way, especially if you get caught in a wave or something like that, you know. So, chest is still off balance. Let's fix this. Yeah, mirror image is a great way to check your balance, and if you're drawing and you're doing digital, and I think most people draw digitally these days anyway, it's always a good exercise. It's like a human brain phenomenon that just kind of forces your brain to look at it with a completely fresh sort of perspective, and I think it forces a different side of your brain to kind of take notice of things where otherwise you wouldn't. All right. Now I have this thing pretty much, I have at least the figure pretty much sketched out how I want it. Just darken in the hair, make sure it doesn't look stupid. Draw more strand-like hair. Chin is still a little bit weak. I think I'm going to stick it out a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Now I think the shower, I kind of like rain style showers that just kind of fall straight down. I might even make it a square. Those are kind of my favorite showers, and one of my, when I do get a house one day, I kind of would like to have a system like that, even though they're not cheap, you know. And let's go ahead and kind of have a little enclosure here. Actually, no, it's not going to be like that. I don't know why I keep having bad instincts about some of these things. Okay, she's like that, and the lines are going to converge up top, so it should be kind of straight, right? Yeah, I think so. And then the landscape will be kind of like I don't know, something like that. Little house, whatever, barn, you know, whatever. Anyway, probably not that high because the angle is down here. So the landscape will probably be down here, or the house, or whatever. Okay. Okay, that'll be it for now. I don't want these videos to be like enormous, but yeah. But this will just be like a simple exercise, which is really what this is. And I will pick this up later. I'll probably come in, do some inking, maybe probably still some more editing, mainly focusing on the figure, then working on some background. But the main deal is to get some digital practice in, and also wrap with you guys and populate my YouTube with some videos. Like I said, we're going to do the bathing suit here for YouTube's sake, and then probably a nude version will be shared with my Patreon subscribers. If you're wondering where my Patreon is, I have a link to it here on my YouTube channel. Also, or you can just find it at www.patreon.com/jnaylor. There you go. All right, I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.